They don't care whether you have groceries on your table or not. They don't care about those things, because as long as they have what they need and they're making their money. And that's another one of my pet peeves is making sure that we don't keep sending people to Washington that go to Washington just to get rich by doing insider stock trading and all those other things, right? So we have too much of that.
That's not the point of it, right? The point of it is to serve.
So many of them they're taking money from the pharmaceutical companies. They're taking money from the healthcare insurance companies. They want to keep those things, keep those premiums high, keep people paying top dollar for medication. When you have lawmakers who are taking money from all these people, they are not up there working to make sure that we provide health care for everyone, right? I certainly think we need to put a moratorium on building new data centers until we really understand the effects, the environmental effects, and effects on the community. You know, I worked in the chemical industry for years, right? I worked for DuPont. So I worked in it, and there were federal regulations that they had to, abide by, right? They had to abide by, they had to have a certain water source. They had to be able to treat their water, and it seems like, to me, the data centers need to have all of those things in place, because first of all, they don't need to be pulling water from, and I hear in other parts of the country, they're pretty much causing droughts or drying up water sources for some. Now, how do we get there? It's going to be a heavy lift to get there, right? But we can fix the things that we can fix, right? We can fix those subsidies. We can fix those things that have been cut away from the ACA. It was never perfect, but ever since it was passed, people have been chopping at it and taking items away from it. So now they'll look at you in the face and say, well, the Affordable Health Care Act is not so affordable, is it? No, because you've been taking things away from it for 10 years, right? 15 years. No, it's not as affordable as it was, or as it should be, right? As it should be. But we can fix those things. We can do budget reconciliation. Lawmakers can get in there and actually kind of put back in the budget those things that were cut, and that's what we need to have happen. If your vote didn't count, they wouldn't work so hard to try to suppress your vote, right? They wouldn't do the redrawing of the line. They wouldn't do all these things that they do. Alabama is only one of 3 states that doesn't have early voting, right? There's only 3 states left in the country that doesn't have early voting. The only time you can vote is election day in Alabama, unless unless you have a legitimate reason to vote absentee, which you have to do in person at the courthouse in that county. You have to vote on election day. Again, we're one of only 3 states left in the country that you actually have to vote. And if you don't think that's part of voter suppression, you better think again, right? So Medicaid expansion, of course, Alabama is one of those states that has not, expanded Medicaid. So there is a huge gap, right, between the people who make too much to be on Medicaid and don't make enough to have some type of health care, right? There's anywhere between 200 and 300,000 Alabamians on any given month that fall in that gap. So that's a lot of people who don't have health care, right? Who don't have coverage at any given time. So that is really one of the major issues that we see.
It's just like, if we would just, healthcare for all, which I am 100% behind, and I do believe we have the blueprint for it. And it's Medicaid and it's Medicare, it's CMS. We have the blueprint. We've been building it for 4 decades.
It wouldn't even be hard for us to implement. At this point, it really wouldn't. And we can just look at the way every other country in the world does it.
Yeah. So it's not like we have nothing, right? Like, we've been working towards this. Yeah.
Right. So, we do.
Thanks for joining us on the Healthcare Uprising. Make sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons before you go, and take a moment to think of a friend and hit that share button. You can find us on all the major audio platforms, and we've got video on YouTube if you want to watch us in action.
You can also find us on social media on LinkedIn, TikTok, and Instagram. Just search Healthcare Uprising to find us. And if you're a new company with a cool new product, if you're someone innovating alternative methods for the health and wellness space, or if you have a personal healthcare journey you'd like to share with us here at The Uprising, please email us at healthcareuprising@gmail.com, and we'll get back to you about coming on the show. Well, that's all for this dose of Healthcare Uprising. Until the next time, keep looking for the good in the world, because sometimes it's where you least expect it.
We are not doctors and we don't play one on TV. If you need medical advice, consult with your physician or a healthcare professional. This has been a Shut Up production.
Shut up!